Then with regards to the generality of the state, that is the Northeast, knowing fully well that Bauchi was formerly APC, taken over by PDP, so also Adamawa State, but Gombe was PDP that was taken over by APC. And I can tell you now that APC is the predominant party in Gombe. So also in Yobe. Well, I think with regards to the issue of unity, yes, there could be some differences, but we've been able to manage our differences and still come back to that one big family, APC, which is thriving and is doing well in Gombe in particular. What we are intending to do is to consolidate on our holding and expand more so that we'll widen the territory and ensure that we deliver APC from the presidential to the gubernatorial and House of Assembly elections, inshallah. With regards to the issue of centrality, Gombe State, as you rightly said, if you look at the geographical map of the Northeast sub-region, shares boundary with all the remaining 5 states of the Northeast. And as a result of which, we have very long-standing relationship with the people, especially since we are all one, the Northeastern state. And those relationships span back to hundreds of years. And because of that, economic activity, especially within the Northeast sub-region, is really thriving. And because of the relative peace which Gombe State has, more than the other boundary states, economic activity, especially in agricultural production, marketing and distribution, and in livestock development, thrives better in Gombe than in any other of those states. So we are lucky that we are in the center and we are peaceful. But what we are doing to enhance security is to encourage people and encourage connectivity. We have, as a project, this government alone is investing in developing 100 kilometers of road networks. We call it Network 1100. In all the 11 local governments of Gombe State, we've gone very far in implementing. So connectivity is helping in security, is helping in economic prosperity, and is helping in providing welfare to the majority of the people. That is what is helping us. And even of recent, we held a security summit in which now we invited all stakeholders. In fact, it was the IG that went to flag off the security summit. And we touched on all the issues relative to, the other states of the sub-region. And I can say boldly that Gombe is on the right track, providing the necessary support and infrastructure to the security agencies in order to bolster security and proper management or livelihoods of the people. We thank God for that. One, but with security and connectivity through roads and other social infrastructure, and equally with the support we are giving to our businessmen and the general nature of the relationships of the people, plus the provision of social amenities, we were able to get to #1 position in terms of enabling a business environment. So with that, people are encouraged, and we help in facilitating a quick, issuance of either titles or approvals for businesses to take up in Gombe. And as a result of which, I think economic activity is better in Gombe than in any other state. But above all, what we are doing, especially with facing the future, is the provision of that industrial park, which will now house a lot of industries. And we've gone a parcel of land, 1,000 hectares, close to the Datonko Dam. We are working towards, finishing the first phase. By December, inshallah, we shall finish the first phase of 364 hectares with all the infrastructure needed for the industries to thrive. And that is close to the power base of the Datonko Dam, which is generating 40 megawatts of electricity. So I think with that, Gombe is doing a lot in order to facilitate business activity. With regards to education, that emergency, we declared emergency on education in September 2019. That was coming on the heels of our realizing that there were about 550,000 by the accounts of UNICEF then, out of school children in Gombe. But by deeper investigation, we found that there were more than that, maybe close to 750,000 or 800,000. And coupled with poor performance in our schools, in the West African examination that normally takes place at the end of the secondary school levels, by 2019, Gombe placed, I think, number 34 out of the 36 plus one state, the FCT. And we scored for 5 credits, including maths and English, our score was only about 29%. And with the emergency, last year, 2021, we were able to achieve 79.6%. You know, for those that obtained credits, including maths, 5 credits, including maths and English. With what we did in basic education, that is from junior secondary school down to primary 1, I think with the facilities we provided and the actions we took, and of the recent, in order to close the gap, we are setting up 5 mega schools that will take not less than 3,000 per school, totaling about 15,000, in all the geopolitical zones. So if we are able to manage properly, especially with the employment of 1,000 teachers that we are going to place in those schools, I think we are good to go, we are covered, and we shall emphasize more on the supervision. While we may say that the state of emergency has ended, but at least we've ensured that we provided the structures that will sustain all those successes that we've achieved from basic to secondary education, in fact, including tertiary education in Gombe. So I think that is where we are. And on the investment summit, it's going to hold at the end of the first week of October, which is just about a month to come now. And it's going to focus on encouraging investors to come to Gombe with all the facilities that I've earlier mentioned we've provided and the enabling environment that will make them put in money so that we can generate investment, and not only that, provide employment for the thousands of youths that are in abundance in our state.